Are you good with 250, or would you like to enter the drawing for this particular item? And I'm sitting beside today, or Brother Vargo agreed to come up from the third floor. Did you take the elevator or you take the stairs?
I took the elevator.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what color the paint is in the stairwell. I don't think. Now he wanted to be able to talk when he got up here. That's what I do. I run up the stairs and I have to take about 3 minutes to get my breath. Then it's a bunch of huffing and puffing. This dear brother, man, he's a friend and has been a friend since 1990 when I got to go on a trip of a lifetime, and he was one of our drivers with Ray Highfield. They drove for us as we went down to Texas and Kentucky and Alabama, different places. Had a good time with Brother Ray Young. Met Brother Hiles down there in Texas. Went to a service. Had a good time that way. And then we would connect again in 1996. Is that
Seven.
right? 97 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was in Santa Ma, Louisiana. We were in Baton Rouge, and the Lord let us connect and became soul winning partners, and I think just endearing friends. And I love him. He loves me. We love each other. Very thankful for his beautiful wife, Gail, who lives with Jesus now, and her love for music. She was a great soprano and sang for our son's funeral. Just so many sweet memories when I think about that. I love all of his kids, and he has got three great sons and two precious daughters, all of which faithfully loving the Lord and trying to please Him. But loves Christian radio. And Brother Jerry, why do you love radio?
I was a bus kid when I came here to First Baptist Church in Hammond. I came the first time in 1962. And I could remember Elton Mock, our chairman of our deacons, his father was my bus driver for a period of time, and he offered to bring me to church on Sunday nights in his car. And I could remember sitting in church on Sunday night, and I hated the fact that the church service was ending. My father was an alcoholic. I lived in Gary, Indiana, and I was going back home, and Christian radio was my companion during the week between Sundays. I would listen to Christian music and listen to sermons, and the radio was my spiritual companion during the week. And so I love Christian radio. I love what it does for people, especially shut-ins and those who can't get out, and those who are living in a situation like mine where you don't live around other Christian people and you don't have Christian fellowship during the week. So the radio becomes a wonderful avenue for people that have Christian music and sermons and stuff to listen to during the week.
I tell you what, I love to hear that, and I remember years ago living in a four-room house with a bathroom on the side with all eight of us, the Wilkerson kids, and I would go lay down on my mom and dad's bed, and there's a radio beside. I would just lay there and listen to Christian radio. Unshackled would come on. Lester Roloff Family Altar program that would come on. And then I would listen sometimes to a basketball game from BBC Springfield. They would have the Patriots. They would have a basketball game. I'd just lay there and listen and then hear different songs. And it encouraged me too. I was, remember, 15, 16 years old, especially on that. I remember one day coming back from, I got sick at work. I didn't feel good. And I thought, my goodness, I got to go home. And I felt bad. The boss let me off a little bit early, and I drove home. And I was in my 1965 Dodge Dart, and I turned the radio on at that time. I was listening to Conference Echoes. Have you ever heard that?
Yes, sir.
And it was the first time I ever heard the name Vance Havner. And of course, you have now supplied with me with probably 10 books that Vance Havner wrote. But I remember seeing that and listening to him speak. I think it was, I don't know if it was conference week, if someplace, and where he was around the world, I don't know. But I remember him preaching. Of course, he had that prophetic, he was just down on society, and ripping up everything, and and talking about the fat lack of spiritual fervor in our churches today. And he was going. Well, I thought to myself, I remember hearing him talk about no love in the shine. I've probably quoted that little story. He had his lovely wife who loved him and packed his clothes and shined his shoes, and he said she went home to be with the Lord. I think her name was Sarah. I don't know for sure, but whatever her name was, he said now she's with the Lord. And I still get my shoes shined, but I pay for them. And I still listen to them, but there's just no love in the shine. He said the guy that does it for a dollar bill. She did it because she loved me. and we ought to do what we do because we love the Lord and need to have a lot of love in the shine. Reminding me of that. But that's another radio experience I have years ago. But on this share-a-thon today, we're doing things a little different. But you can't leave us hanging here, okay? You can't say, "Well, it's so different. I'm not even going to call." You got to call. Yes, sir.
Pastor, I have two things to throw in here. First of all, her name was Sarah, Sara, and that is a correct thing. And trust Pastor to have the name right. But then also, I was supposed to mention that we have an open house here as well. I think we mentioned it one time earlier. You are welcome to physically come here. Of course, you can bring money with you. You don't have to, but you can bring money up here. And just I wanted to mention that again, that we are inviting people to physically come here, 507 State Street, 4th floor, and you can make your way up here. We'd love to see you.
We do have stairways, but we also have an elevator. So don't get nervous about the stairway thing there, okay? You take the elevator up to the 4th floor, come out of the elevator, take a hard right, walk down to the end, and the door is open, ready to receive you. We have some snacks here brought to us by Mrs. Ballback. And, man, they are beautiful little things. I have not tried any of them yet, but they're all making me smack my lips there, and looks like they're going to be some good things to enjoy. But Brother Jerry loves radio, and he's here with me. I'm going to ask him to share a little bit about J. Vernon McGee in a minute, but talk to us for a second about the grand prize that you have donated for this share-a-thon. For anyone who gives a one-time gift of $300, they will enter a drawing. It will be given away on Friday evening. Tell us about it, would you?
In 1830, a man in England named Sir Edward Tomlinson decided that he wanted to do something to promote the Bible. So what he did was he read the entire Bible through, and then he found the great artists of the day, Michelangelo and Da Vinci and Raphael, and he hired a bunch of engravers, and they engraved in bronze medals, they engraved 60 different Bible stories. And the front of now these are large, there's like large coins, and they're made of brass. On the front side of the coin is a very, very detailed description of a Bible story. And then on the reverse side of the coin is the King James Bible verse that goes, one of the Bible verses that goes along with that story. And there are 60 medals in here. Originally, when he produced this work, it was produced in gold and silver, and there weren't that many copies made, but they were given to monarchs in Europe and Asia as gifts. Well, in 1970, the Franklin Mint decided to reproduce these so that the world can have copies of this medallic Bible. And so they came up and 1970 produced these. And although many years of engraving these dies in order to make these things was put into place, and this is probably one of the greatest coin works of the Bible that's ever been produced, and the Franklin Mint decided to bring it back to life. But Sir Edmund Tomlinson, he was the one who came up with this in 1830 to have this beautiful set of bronze coins depicting 60 different Bible stories, major Bible stories, and puts the Bible verse on the back side of it.
They're all King James Version, and you confirmed that. Can I see it real quickly?
Sure.
Folks, it's heavy. It's beautiful. They're all brass. And they come out. Brother Jerry showed me how he could pull that out. They could come out there. We don't have to do it today.
Okay.
It's okay. But we're taking a picture of this and putting it on the Facebook. But this is the grand prize, and somebody's going to have this in their possession. On Friday evening, we will draw for the drawing, and that is just a special one this year. If you sponsor a day, obviously, 250 sponsor day, you add $50 more to that, and you get an opportunity to enter this drawing. I saw this. I couldn't believe you were donating, Brother Jerry, but I know how much you love the Lord and how much you love the radio, and you wanted to help us raise the funds for this year. So if you're going to give, and you can give the $300, it gets into a drawing. I think you'll enjoy doing this. It is called the Thompson Metallic Bible, and 60 different Bible stories with inside there the Bible story in the front, beautifully done, and Bible verses on the back. And there's a photo of the cover that you can see on Facebook. and we'll get that straightened out so you can see it upright. But this is done, and these are the beautiful metallic emblems, and they show a Bible story. And then, of course, on the back is a verse of Scripture that's available. We look forward to showing that to you throughout the broadcast. But I'm excited about this, and you'll need to have your strong muscles to carry that up and down. It is heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And once again, it is the Thompson Medallic Bible, and I'm very excited. Franklin Mint made it possible 54 years ago, and beautiful, beautiful a gift today. And this is for anyone who, throughout the program, gives a $300 minimum one-time gift, and of course you can sponsor a day without going $300. But if you want you want to get in this one, when you go online, if you're going to do it that way, to the keyfm.com donate button, push donate. It'll ask you if you want to donate or you want a sponsorship. You can sponsor the Christmas playlist. You can sponsor the sponsor of the day, which Brother Jody will get with you and find out in what honor or whose memory you want to do that in. That's a great thing. And then if you add $50 to that and you make it at least $300, then we'll have the opportunity to enter you into that. And information is on there that will tell you a little bit more about it. Once again, donate, sponsorship. If you want to sponsor, push that. If you want the Christmas playlist, business or personal. And then the amount, once again, is $250 is already in there. That's what a sponsorship is. $300 in this particular share-a-thon will, $50 more, will help you get into the drawing. And we'll read off the names of those who are qualifying on that later. But I want to thank Jerry and Raina, Fred and Lingu, Marie. Thank you very much. Marie will enter that. She is one of those. The Apollo Sunday School class, open door Bible class, $580 from that Sunday school class. They will enter that as well. Anyone who has over $300 one-time gift will be entered into that drawing, and we're looking forward to that. Brother Jerry, I gave you the assignment, and you so graciously have got a train in your pocket there.
It's my son's birthday today, and
it is. Which one?
Dwayne.
Dwayne?
I texted him earlier, and he was answering me. I forgot to put my phone on silent.
You talk about some good boys. Dwight, Dwayne, and Doug, good boys. And, of course, Dawn and Dana, sweet girls that I think your girls remind me so much of your precious wife. And then your boys just can do about anything. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But I gave him the assignment to help us a little bit. I'm going to ask him to do it several times throughout our broadcast. But I'd like for him to tell us a little bit about J. Vernon McGee. Through the Bible is aired in the morning. I heard it yesterday morning at 6 a.m. Through the Bible. And then in the afternoon at 12:30 on the afternoon, he comes on again. And, of course, Steve Sweat, he's the guy that now oversees the broadcast there from California. But what can you tell us about J. Vernon McGee, Brother Vargo?
Well, J. Vernon McGee was born in Hillsboro, Texas in 1904, and he was the son of very poor parents. At the age of 14, he lost his dad in a cotton gin accident, and his mother moved him and his sister to Nashville, Tennessee. Through the investment of friends and significant mentors, Vernon was able to attend college and then seminary. After completing his education, he was the pastor of churches in Georgia, in Tennessee, and in Texas. McGee's first church as a pastor was located in the Red Clay Hills of Midway, Georgia. It was in Cleburne, Texas, that Vernon met Ruth Inez Jordan and fell in love with her at first sight. He proposed to her on their second date, and the two married a year later.
How about that?
Eventually, he and Ruth settled in Pasadena, California, where Dr. McGee accepted the pastoral call to the Lincoln Avenue Church. He recalled this period as the happiest time in his life, with a young family and a young congregation whom he loved. McGee became the pastor of the famous Church of the Open Door in downtown Los Angeles in 1949, and he was succeeding Lewis Talbot. The same year, McGee gave one of the daily invocations at Billy Graham's 2-month-long Christ for Greater Los Angeles campaign. In other words, he led an opening prayer at one of those meetings. 1952, McGee was asked by an evangelist and university president, John Brown, to take over a radio program to which listeners could send in questions, and McGee would have to answer them on the air. In the next year, 1953, another family tragedy occurred. J. Vernon McGee's mother was killed by being struck by an intoxicated driver in Pasadena, California. McGee did not press charges against the driver, and he only requested of the judge that justice would be done. Dr. McGee was persuaded to begin a Sunday radio program called the Open Bible Hour on just one station there in Pasadena. It later became the High Noon Bible Class, which laid the foundation for the 1967 launch of Through the Bible as we know it today. Dr. McGee recorded the Sunday sermon messages from the pulpit of the Church of the Open Door in Los Angeles, where he was the pastor from 1949 to 1970. After retiring from the pastorate of the Church of the Open Door in 1970, Dr. McGee devoted his remaining years to the Through the Bible radio network. He also served as chairman of the Bible department at Biola. Biola, B-I-O-L-A, that stands for the Bible Institute of Los Angeles, and as a visiting lecturer at Dallas Theological Seminary. After cancer surgery in 1965, the doctors gave him 6 months to live, but the Lord gave him another 23 years.
How about that?
After retiring from the Church of the Open Door in Los Angeles, Dr. McGee devoted the rest of his life to the Through the Bible radio broadcast. On any given day, you would find him at his Pasadena office with an open Bible on his desk, sitting in front of a microphone. In a systematic study of each book of the Bible, Dr. McGee took his listeners from Genesis to Revelation in a 2.5-year period, which he called a Bible bus trip. After retiring from the pastorate in 1970, he realized that 2.5 years was not really enough time to teach the whole Bible, so Dr. McGee recorded another series of the Bible in a 5-year period. Dr. McGee continued speaking engagements after he retired, even through a bout of cancer from which he fully recovered. However, a heart problem surgically treated in 1965 resurfaced, and on December 1st, 1988, Dr. McGee fell asleep in his chair and quietly passed into the presence of his Savior. Now, since his death, the 5-year program of Through the Bible has continued to air on over 800 radio stations in North America. It's broadcast worldwide in more than 130 languages via radio, shortwave, and the Internet. Dr. McGee and the board of directors planned in advance that the recorded 5-year program would stay on the air after McGee's death. He said, just play the tapes until the money runs out, and that was the directions he gave his staff. Today, the worldwide work of Through the Bible continues through a small staff and the prayers of faithful, giving, wonderful listeners, committed to keeping the Bible bus traveling to the whole world until Jesus comes.
Brother Jerry, thank you for taking the time. You've just heard a little bio of Dr. J. Vernon McGee, who went home to be with the Lord in 1988, and since that time, the Lord has saw fit to honor Through the Bible. We play it right here without any cost to Through the Bible. The entire cost for that to be aired right here is absorbed right here through our radio listeners here on 90.5 The Key. And so we're at the top of the hour. We're going to take a break. Call us right now at 219-228-2995. Join those who have given already. We've got 3 new givers. Thank you very much, Jamie, Mary, Tim, Brenda. We'll take a break. Top of the hour here at 90.5 The Key, Fall Share-a-thon.
90.5 WRTW-FM, Crown Point, Chicago, and WRTK-FM, Paxton.
There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus, no, not one.